And we're back. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office, North Georgia's only live online morning show. We really enjoy having Carla here on Tuesday mornings. Again, next Tuesday, we will not be here. It'll be 4th of July, Independence Day. Now, Sam, I don't remember, but don't we have Light Up the Lake? Isn't that this weekend?
That is.
It's Light Up the Lake.
I believe it's on the 2nd.
It's on the 2nd, right? Is that a Sunday?
Yes.
Yes, it's Sunday night on the 2nd. Light Up the Lake. Lake Blue Ridge is coming up. And it's a boat parade. And it's really neat. Now, I think Friday is the lady joining us again?
Yes.
What is her name?
Joanne Myers will be here at 8:40, or on Blue Ridge at 8:40.
Okay, Joanne Myers is going to be with us in Blue Ridge at Sycamore Crossing at 8:40 this Friday.
Civic Association.
Lake Blue Ridge Civic Association?
Yes.
And Light Up Lake Blue Ridge is really neat. It's a boat parade. I think it's the third year, maybe second year. And it's a great, they limit it to, I think they said 50 boats. 50 boats. It's really going to be something neat. That is, and I think, are they doing their fireworks on Saturday?
I don't know. I know that the boat parades, they start gathering about 8:30 or 8 to 8:30, and then they'll roll out when it gets dark.
Well, I'm going to the boat parade, and I think Saturday is are they doing the fireworks at the marina Saturday? I'm not for sure. I want to check that out. We'll get with that later in the week. So, okay. Healthcare. Now, the Obamacare defense team is out. Full steam ahead. Now, Susan Collins. Let's start there. Okay, let's start with Susan Collins. I have a healthy dislike for this lady, and I just do. I just do. I have a healthy dislike for her. Now, she put out a tweet. We want to talk about her in Maine. All right, she put out a tweet. We're going to go with the Susan Collins. This is, and Republicans have 5. All right, the Republicans have 5. That's Mike Lee, Johnson, Ted Cruz. Who else? Mike Lee, Johnson, Ted Cruz. I'm doing a test. Rand Paul is number 4, and Dean Heller. Dean Heller out in Nevada, all right? Well, Susan Collins up there in Maine. I did this story yesterday, the war on poverty, how they keep throwing out West Virginia and Kentucky and opiate addiction. And please do not fall for anything that's going on here where some of these senators are concerned. Let's go with Susan Collins' tweet 1, I think it is.
I don't have any Susan Collins tweets.
You don't have any?
No. I have Trump tweets.
I didn't send you anything with Susan Collins?
No. Nothing.
Who got them? I sent them to somebody. Holy smokes.
I don't think you did.
All right, well, then you just won't see them on the screen. I'm going to go ahead and do them. Susan Collins sent out a tweet. I want to work with my GOP and Dem colleagues to fix the flaws in the ACA, okay? The American Health Care Act, okay? Affordable Care Act, right? Affordable Care Act. CBO analysis shows Senate bill won't do it. I will vote no on the Senate bill. I will vote no. She wants to fix the flaws. This woman has the nerve to call them flaws. CBO says 22 million. Now listen to this. This is in Maine. This is the senator from Maine that's supposed to be a Republican. CBO says 22 million people lost insurance. Medicaid cuts hurt most vulnerable Americans. Okay? Access to health care in rural areas threatened. All right? Senate bill doesn't fix ACA problems for rural Maine. Our hospitals are already struggling. 1 in 5 Mainerians, what I guess that's what they call themselves, are on Medicaid. 1 in 5 are on Medicaid. It doesn't fix our hospital, and rural areas are already struggling. You know, where is the compassion of these people when, and I want to do this real quick for Maine, okay? Because I am so tired of Susan Collins, all right? Absolutely sick and tired of this woman. Where is her compassion when 1 in 5 people in Maine are on Medicaid, let me make sure. Maine overdose deaths soared nearly 40% last year to a record 378. Opiate drugs such as fentanyl and heroin caused most of the fatalities in 2006, the 5th straight year of increases in a heartbreaking statistic. That was in Maine, Susan Collins. While the Affordable Care Act was so great for our health care, so great for expanding Medicaid, how come all of these things continue to increase, and now you want more money? Okay, Maine, this comes from Mike Publicker. He is the American Board of Addiction Medicine, okay? He is on the American Board of Addiction Medicine, and he wrote, Maine has the highest rate of prescription opiate addiction in the nation. These are our daughters, our sons, our mothers, fathers, brothers, sisters, and grandparents, okay? Parents go to bed each night fearing the call that their child has died from an overdose. More than 30,000 opiate addicted, more than 30,000 opiate addicted Mainers, I guess, have no access to care. Yet, on a daily basis, I have the personal and professional reward of seeing the results of effectively integrated treatment, which addresses the biological, psychological, and social and spirit needs. Folks, I just want one more, because I am so tired of Susan Collins. I'm so tired of these hypocritical senators lying to the American people. Maine has one of the highest per capita prescription drug addiction rates. Prescription drug abuse and addiction are problems across the United States and around the world. But in this country, Maine is one of the highest per capita prescription drug addiction rates, according to the latest research and numbers. A large percentage of those who have sought help for an active prescription drug addiction say that the problem started the day they received their first prescription of narcotic painkillers, sedatives, or stimulant medications. Legal prescriptions don't always lead to addiction, but if the patient, let me just say, I'm not going to have another day of going through opiate addiction in this country. I just would like for it to be very clear, as we talk about health care, bailing out health care insurers, and CBO scores, waiting for a CBO score. I wish we'd get a damn CBO score to tell us what was wrong, that we can fix the problems in this country that have led to this drug addiction of opiates, which came from legal prescriptions. You know, we spend more time, I don't want to go here, but we spend more time fighting over marijuana and legalizing marijuana, okay? All right, fine, okay. And opiate addiction, we have funded in this country. We have encouraged through our healthcare system. We have fostered, encouraged, and helped it all the way through to the problem we have today, the government, and now we have to overhaul health care, and we have to hear from these liberals like Susan Collins and what it's going to do to her state. I know, I understand you don't want to hear that 2 days in a row, but I am so tired of these hypocrites. Absolutely tired of it. Now, the Obama defense team was out, and they were out this morning. And let's see if I actually sent these emails. Let's go with the healthcare lie number one. This is how they started this morning. Healthcare lie number one, okay? That is CBO, the CBO. You can see Joe and Minka there. They match. They're really nice. Muskrat Joe and Muskrat Minka. And MSNBC has to lead with CBO. 22 million fewer Americans will be insured under Senate plan. Okay? So that's the lead. Let's go to healthcare lie number two. How many more Americans will be uninsured under Senate health care plan? Okay. 2018, 15 million. 2020, 19 million. And 2026. By the time we get to 2026, the CBO says 22 million Americans will be uninsured. Okay. Now, let me ask you a question. Why the hell is the CBO doing this math? Why is the Congressional Budget Office, okay? Now, if you put everything together, who is determining what people will buy, what they will not buy, who will get involved and who won't? You see, they don't want the money turned back to the states. They don't. They don't want the states to oversee the Medicaid program in their states. They do not want that. They want the federal government to handle it. Let's go to lie number three. Medicaid cuts under the Senate plan, $772 billion over 10 years. Medicaid cuts, $772 billion over 10 years. Folks, I'm going to tell you now, the Medicaid program will stay in effect. Block grants will go back to your states, and able-bodied Americans will have to pay for their health care. That's just it. That's it. Medicaid expansion will get rolled back, and your Medicaid in your states will apply to the truly poor, sick, disabled, and elderly. Don't let anybody try to tell you that they're going to stop funding nursing homes, okay? This is a lie. We all know that the Medicaid expansion has reached out to the gap between, they're not trying to make insurance more affordable, they're trying to fill in the spots of dependency. See, in this country, you have the elderly or dependent, okay? Don't take that wrong. Worked all your life. You have the elderly in the dependent area, and you have the poor and the weak in the dependent area. And socialism, all they're trying to do with healthcare is fill in the gaps of you being dependent, and that's Medicaid. Bernie Sanders goes around and brags all the time, Medicaid for everyone. And this is exactly what they're doing, is trying to say, hey, these are not cuts. Don't worry about this, okay? Line number four, changes in Medicaid under enrollment. Under the Better Care Reconciliation Act, changes in Medicaid. I say Medicare. I apologize if you heard me say Medicare. Medicaid. Under the Better Care Reconciliation Act, 2018, 2020, see, these are all others affected on enrollment, new enrollees from additional states, expansion under current law. Under the current law, that's what they're trying to show you. Go to the next one. I think it's number 5. That's it. How the Senate bill changes plan premiums based on silver plans. Okay? Silver plans. This is what they tell you. Based on the silver plan today, a 21-year-old, okay, earning $26,000, you'll only have a $500 increase in your premiums. Okay? But if you're 64 years or older and you're earning $26,500 plus, you're going to be increased $4,800. Folks, I'm just telling you, don't fall for all of these lies in this healthcare. It's just flat. If you're earning $68,200, okay, a 21-year-old and over will actually decrease by $1,000. But if you're 64 years old, you'll increase by $5,200. I'm telling you that this is a work in progress. I think the next one says healthcare premiums. MSNBC healthcare premiums. Senate healthcare plan impact on premiums. Benchmark plans compared to Obamacare by year. 2018, it would go up 20%. 2019, 10%. But by 2020, it would fall to 30%. And in 2026, premiums would go down 20%. On the premium lie, and this comes from both sides of the aisle, okay? I'm tired of the premium lie. One will go down, one will go up, one will balance. We're not going to see a decrease in premiums, period, until we're able to buy across state line and have insurance competition. Period. You will not have premiums go down. It won't happen. Premiums have always gone up, and they will. And if you do the math of what they're saying they'll go down in 2020 and 2026, think of what they've gone up in the last 8 years of Obamacare. So if you continue the evolutionary scale of premiums through Obamacare, the Affordable Care Act, all the way up, and then you start seeing this bill rolls them back, they're still not going to be rolled back to pre-Affordable Care Act numbers. It's not going to happen. So don't fall for the premium. That's the one on both sides of the aisle, no matter who's up there. Don't fall for the premium decrease. The only way in America premiums will decrease, in my opinion, is when we're able to buy across state lines, and not until that, until there's competition, one insurance company against the other, and you can get several quotes that the premiums are not going down. Let's go to the next one here. Give me one more here. I have it here somewhere. Let's see.
Trump claims Obama coddled or colluded.
Not that one yet. Am I out of healthcare lies?
Yes. You have the healthcare deficit reduction.
Oh, no, let's go to the White House. This is a tweet. I call it a Trump tweet, and it's about Obamacare. Okay. Yeah, that one there. Now, the White House put out, fact, when Obamacare was signed, CBO estimated that 23 million would be covered in 2017. They were off 100%. Only 10.3 million people are covered. Okay? So the CBO cannot score. There's not a senator one that actually should be voting based on the CBO score. Okay? Not a one. Let's see what else I have here on that. I had something else I wanted to show you that I had. Yeah, get up the White House, MSNBC White House statement on the CBO health report. You see that one?
No, you didn't send that.
I didn't send that one?
I have MSNBC Trump claims Obama colluded and MSNBC Trump joking about Russia. That's all.
You know what? I got emails floating out there in the middle of somewhere.
Well, they didn't come to me this morning.
Oh.
I thought it was
the next time ask me if something's wrong.
I figured you were being nice since you moved all this.
Figured I was being nice. Well, boy, there was a mistake. White House, I'll just read it to you. This was put out, MSNBC put this out. The White House statement on the CBO healthcare report. The CBO has consistently proven it cannot accurately predict how healthcare legislation will impact insurance coverage. This history of inaccuracy, as demonstrated by its flawed report on coverage premiums and predicted deficit arising out of Obamacare, reminds us that its analysts must not be trusted blindly. The CBO cannot pick this. Folks, the last thing, and I don't think I put up, do you have the savings, MSNBC, savings under Senate healthcare plan?
No.
Deficit reduction?
I think we have, yes, deficit reduction. Yes.
Okay, savings under the Senate healthcare plan, 1.2 trillion reduction in direct spending, 701 billion reduction in revenues. After everything is balanced out, there would be a $321 billion net deficit reduction. Okay, they don't want to talk about the deficit reduction. So the healthcare plan, it needs to move back. Okay, you need to move Medicaid. Folks, the MO today is Medicaid is the elderly, okay, the poor, the seriously ill. Rural health care will be devastated. Nursing homes will close. Treatment centers will close. Grandma coming home to live with you because the nursing home's going to close. Not one time, and all the rich people get a tax break. Everybody that's rich gets a tax break. No more mandates, okay? They don't talk about, what was it, the 6 million Americans that, the 6 million Americans that paid the penalty. They don't talk about that. The mandate's gone. You're going to see small business thrive. You're going to see, as soon as they're able to buy across state lines, you're going to see small business start purchasing insurance for their employees. Watch and see. If we can get true competition and the prices go down, you're going to see small business. You know, to hell with the minimum wage. I'm serious. To hell with the minimum wage. Let me tell you what I see, and I'm going to tell you there's a lot of businesses out there to see this as small business, all right? Small business owners will compensate the people around them based on their hard work, dedication. I mean, they will compensate the people around them for the work they do. I guess I have no problem with a minimum wage. I don't want to get down that rabbit hole right now. But I like free market-driven wage. That's what I like. A free market-driven wage is do a good job, you know, provide the work, do the work that's being asked, and you know what? The person you're working for they will not want you to leave, period. And all of this $15 an hour minimum wage talk, it's not going to work. If you allow true competition in this country, especially in healthcare, across state lines, and a small business owner could compensate their people appropriately because the tax structure is not out of whack. You know, do you ever go to these people that are asking for $15 an hour and sit down and actually tell them how crazy of a tax structure we have in this country and how their money, you know, they should be getting their money? No, we don't talk about that. So you roll back all the taxes on small business. You allow small business to purchase in groups, in associations, and you allow small business to purchase across state lines, and watch competition go down, and watch small business owners again in this country with 8, 10 employees or not more start looking to provide health care for their team, okay? Watch it happen. I'm your host, BKP. We'll see what happens in the healthcare. Now, today's Tuesday. Thursday at 8:30, Congressman Doug Collins will be our guest, 9th Congressional District Congressman Doug Collins. We'll talk to him about healthcare and what's going on in the House. We come back. Did you know Illinois is broke? Illinois is broke. They're so broke that there's discussion of dissolving the state. I mean, they are so broke that people don't care if I say Illinois or Illinois. They don't care. That's how broke they are. I'll be back right after these messages.